Okay, folks, so this is where we're going to start out at. This guy here, this is Zach. He's been in my comic for 6 years, and I've had a blast drawing him. He's one of my faves. He's pretty much got the strip started. This is his mother, young redhead here, and this is his father, Bob. This is Grandpa Earl, who's tough as nail. He's like dried wet leather. Can pretty much take on anything. Once known to be bitten by a shark and still walked ashore and went home. He's one of those guys that's kind of rough and tough. This here, Zach, when you draw, and then you see Petey, my little dog in the back, which was based on one of our favorite family dogs who passed away about 2 months ago. But don't worry, he gave me plenty of things to put into my comic strip that are funny. So, anywho, what I wanted to go into this for is the fact that when you draw comic strips and when you draw comic books of any kind, you need to keep in mind that they need to look the same when you're drawing them. So you have to have a map of and an idea of what they look like. And I'm going to show you right now how you draw the characters to look the same and not get confused at like they won't look different. Like draw one panel and they look like one person, draw the next panel and they look like another person. I've heard a lot of people in other comments on other shows, and they say that people never go into that. Well, the way you do that is you draw them about 100 times. No, seriously, you draw them like 100 times. But you draw them like this. This here is Zach jumping up on the corner of the table here. He's I don't know if you can see the lines. I'll try and zoom in a little bit so you can see his face. Right there. But I know what his face looks like. But you use these guidelines right here. These guidelines determine proportions to this kid's face. Like I would draw his eyes like this, and then I know that with Zach, his head does a sort of a little sweep right there on the side, and his neck is pretty much his chest is coming in the way of his neck a little bit, so I'll draw that. Then I'll come around, catch the chin, pretty much ignore this part because it's going to be. But then his eyebrows, and then his nose, which is pretty much a basic kid nose. That's another issue that people have, noses. But then Zach has an unusual hairdo. Oh, and another thing too, when you're drawing a face up at an angle like this, everything curves because you're looking up at it. It's almost like you're looking at a cylinder. If I can show you real quickly, there's a cylinder shape to the head that does this number right here. And if I was to draw through this, that would be a cylinder. And this is the face. See, straight lines from straight to the side would look like something like this. They would just be straight on. But when you turn a cylinder to the side, it looks like this. So you go up and you draw a nose in the middle. Draw guidelines for everything. The mouth, the eyes. You see, it curves like that when you're looking up at it. Or when you're looking down at it, it does basically the same thing when you're looking down at it. You just draw your cylinder, draw your guidelines, and the eyes. See how this is how it would be, and there's the mouth, and the nose would actually sometimes cover the mouth at extreme angles, and that's how you get that perspective of the face. So anyway, back to this right here. But you draw, that's Zach there, and he's really happy. It's Christmas. He's just opened his Xbox, so I would give him probably an emotion of extreme happiness. So I'm going to give him a big open grin, big open smile, teeth showing and all. And then his hair basically won't probably change much in this video here. But what you do is for his hair is I basically get an idea about if it's in movement or if it's going to be steady or whatever. So what I do is I just go strand for strand off the beginning up. I kind of make they tell you not to do helmet hair, but with Zach it really doesn't matter because this is cartooning, it's not comic books. I can exaggerate and do whatever I want when I want. Oh no, I can't remember what his hair looks like. Hold on one second. I'll run over here and I'll look, oh, it's off to the side a little bit on that side too. So I just look at that, and then I kind of get an idea, and then I sweep it like it's supposed to be, and then I go like that, and then as you can see, it's already coming together. That's Zach. So that's how you do that's how you continue to draw and it look like the same person over and over, by doing those guidelines like I showed you. You do, and I've done that with several times with every character that you see here, by doing a simple thing. We call them turnarounds in comics, where you just draw that, and then you draw the eyes, and then, you know, Zach, my characters have always been probably about 3.5 to 4 heads wide. They say 5 heads wide, but I wanted to be different. I'm a weirdo like that. So I put one eye length in between them, right here, and then I put another one half an eye length on the other side, another half an eye length on this side. So that's how I want my eyes to look. So I do it like that, and then the nose, of course, I draw like a little spot for where the nose is going to go, and the nose wraps around the face as well, like that. And then the eyebrows usually are right above the eyes. You can also, I don't want to get into it, but there's 100 ways of drawing eyebrows. You can have arched, you can have burrow, you can have furrow, you can have bare, you can have, I mean, there's all kinds of ways. You can have freaking antennas sticking off your head for eyebrows, but this is not what that's about. This is just basic stuff. So you do that, and then the ears fall on the same line off the eyes. This is where the ears would be. A little bit above it is where the eyes usually are. That line that goes under the eyes, it follows around the head. Then down here, you can change all these proportions if you want later, but then down below here, about half, this is the distance of the nose. From the bridge of the nose to the chin, in between is the mouth. And this is how I learned how to draw heads. The chin, right here, when it turns to go to the front of the chin off the jawbone, you just make a measurement off of the mouth, and then you angle it to the chin like that, and that gives you the basic, that's all you need, you know. And then as far as hair, you know, there's certain ways you can draw hair. I usually measure one eye length above the eyeballs for the hair to show where the hair is going to be on characters. So, you know, and then there's all kinds of hairstyles. We won't go into that, but this is basically how I do that. Now this is for cartooning, not necessarily comic books. Like the thickness of the neck can change with different characters. With cartooning, I usually make my characters got really skinny necks. But on comic books and comic book heroes, of course, you don't want that. But that's how I do my cartoons. And it looks like a bunch of scribbled up mess, but after you get all this inked and erase the lines, you'll see what I'm talking about. So that the eyes, so if you draw that head off to an angle to the, see, a 3/4, and you want to do it like this, running short on time, I'm going to do this kind of quick. But when you want to do it like this and turn it to a 3/4, you know, you draw this part, and then you mark where the eyes go. Then here's the ear off the, where the same place that the eyes come. You put that ear right there. Draw his eye. Come over here, one eye in between. Half an eye on the outside. So if it's half an eye on that side, it's probably going to cover up. And then you draw the cheekbone coming out. Then you draw right here where the nose is going to be, which is about mid-length of where the ear is. You draw the nose where it's going to be. You can draw it out like that. Or you can draw a smooth nose, burly nose, you know, it don't matter. Alright, then come down and you got halfway between the nose and the chin where you've marked it, which is about one eye, 1, 2, 3 eyes down. Then you put the chin right there, you put the mouth in between the chin and the nose, and then you just bring them together. And you can always, up to you how to determine how wide you want the chin. The wider the chin, the more heroic looking, the more noble looking he is. But then you do it like that, and then you, if you want, you can make him have a real sturdy chin. You come down here and measure again. Here comes the chin. There it is right there. The mouth comes around. There's the jaw, and you connect it. And that's how you draw from the 3/4. So now you got a 3/4 view of the same guy. You know, and then you do, of course, right here the hair, which is his was split off to the side, off to about a half an eye. It's all proportions is what makes it look like it's the same person over and over. It's not necessarily any magic to it, but that's what you do. So that's basic stuff about how you remember how to draw heads in different positions and end up looking like the same person. Now this isn't exact because I did this in like 3 minutes, but if I was to take my time, I could actually make him identical in just about every position. And I'm not bragging saying I'm the best artist, not that you would assume I am, considering the shit you've seen I draw, but I'm just saying this is basically how I learned from Marvel comics, how to draw Marvel, a lot of old books. See, back in the day before the internet, people had to read these things. They were made of paper called books, and you'd have to go through them and do whatever they said to learn anything. And now everybody's doing tutorials and this and that, but that's the way we had to learn. I'll go into that one day too, how the struggle for knowledge was so much more of a struggle back in those days than it is now. I mean, we used to have to walk 2 miles uphill in the snow barefoot, and then it was uphill both ways, and we had to go through a gutter system, a sewer system where there were zombies and everything just to get a book to teach us how to draw. And then I ended up with how to draw Marvel Comics, and of course I had to steal out of my mom's pocketbook to get the money to get it, so it was really rough back then. Nowadays, you click on Google, you click tutorial, you look, and they even show you a damn video on how to do it. It's amazing to me how, and if there should be some really more phenomenal people out there in the world getting knowledge this easy. However, I do realize that just because something's simple to get doesn't make it easy to do. This is simple work here, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of practice. Draw about 100 of these of your character, and hopefully you'll get a lot better at it and improve. Thank you for viewing, and that was my little timer telling me that I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start on this panel here, and we're going to work this strip, you and I and us and we and the world, and we're going to do a Life's All Hours together. Alright, thanks for viewing.